Okay, welcome back to Highfleet. Things are still progressing pretty nicely. Last time we took Ganamesh and Kala, and we got an event that gave us 6,000 tons of fuel in exchange for the rooster sitting still in one place for 2 days, which isn't too bad because the morale is in the toilet. We'll take advantage of this delay to give them a bit of armor, which I'll look at in a second. We are now within spitting distance of Kiva. It's now not too far off the top of the screen, and as you've hopefully seen, we are moving quite quickly. Our most pressing sort of objectives right now are to get the Wifflebat upgraded into a slightly modified version of the Thunder that was in my previous video. There's a few comments that have come through that have given me some ideas to just shift it around a little bit. I need to decide if I want to try and rebuild it here in Kala or maybe wait till we get to Dadan. I'm probably going to wait till I get to Dadan to do it because it is quite a big job and I want to make sure I do it properly. But in the meantime, let's just kick off really quickly. The rooster is going to be in stock here. By the way, I've worked out how to fix the previews for my ships, so now they look appropriate. We also picked up a longbow last time. Let's not forget about that. In fact, I have some name suggestions for ships, so let's quickly do that before I forget. We've got the Molotov Stroganov for this guy. Molotov Stroganov. I spelled that right. Nope, I should have got A in there. Enough. And this Skylark, I've got a names request for as well. This is now going to be the Shamala. And let's go back to the rooster really quickly. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace these standard hull pieces here with reinforced hull. It's not a huge change, but it's just something to do while the ship is here in dock. It's not going to make a huge difference to the survivability of the ship, to be honest. It's more a cosmetic change than anything. What I'm also going to do is I have two Nadirs here. I'm just going to mount them on the ship and I'm going to remember to use them before they get blown off. That's like my goal for this episode if I use the rooster. All right, looking at supplies, the free fuel that we've got is enough to get us to Shivran. What I'd like to do is get us enough fuel to make it to Adra fuel storage. I think that's a good destination to get to. Let's have a look at what we've got available in supplies here as well really quickly. We've got AP ammo here, 122mm rockets. We're starting to see that these aren't really that great against ships in the air. 100kg bombs, not as good as 250kg bombs in my opinion. Let's pick up some AP ammo. Actually, we're pretty much at max AP ammo, so I'm going to leave that. That's 100mm prox fuse. There's nothing else here I really want to get my hands on. I've never used Incendiary in this playthrough. I'm curious to see if Incendiary is worth it against the ships with really big fuel tanks. It's something I've never tested, but we'll think about it later. So what I'm going to do right now is just unpause the game. Once my main fleet has refueled, they're going to start heading up to Shivran, and I'm tempted to try and take Shivran with the Sevastopol. The reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to soften Shivran up with fighters, which means we're going to get a silent strike alarm raised anyway, and then we should just be able to deal with the garrison with the Sevastopol, which is completely in antithesis of my playstyle. But actually, the other option is we take Zoba, which means flying backwards a little bit. But Zoba gives us a one-jump access to a shipyard, which means that we can get started on upgrading the Wifflebat into the Zero Sum, which is something I'd quite like to do. For now, let's just speed up time until we've got this fuel. Oh, here we go. I was awakened in my cabin by a messenger. Admiral, sir, the Grand Duke has asked you to come to the bridge. Something was wrong with the ship. The crewmen in the warehouse looked distressed and confused, their eyes vacant and lost in thought. And yet, he was completely calm. A stark contrast to the rest of the room that I found oddly fascinating. And just look at this artwork. Can you imagine being in this ship when it's getting banged around by artillery shells and rockets are hitting it and I'm flying it at far too fast a speed? It's like, I love the background to this game. This artwork is so cool. But when I looked at the portal, I saw the reason for their alarm. According to the clock, the sun should have been rising, but the world behind the glass was pitch black. The ship's searchlights were weaving around frantically, scouring heaven and earth in a vain attempt to slice apart the all-consuming darkness with their narrow beams of man-made light. Let's just take a second to take in this music. Can you imagine how scary this would be? It should be daytime and the sun just hasn't appeared. I mean, we're on a desert planet, or at least we're in a desert region. It should be blazing sun. And the morning has come and there's no light. You're alone in the darkness with just the searchlights of your ships just showing things around you. It's quite a scary thought. Morale -3. Well, I'm definitely glad that the rooster has landed. The men are scared, Mark. Mark. He's calling me Mark now. Not my Duke. He's calling me Mark. You need to do something to reassure them. You must address the crew Duke. Duty calls. I want to hear from you first. What are your thoughts, gentlemen? This can only be a solar eclipse. Tell the crew it will pass. The nuclear war to the south could have kicked up a cloud of ash. An enormous cloud of ash. Assemble all hands, I'll talk to the men. Half an hour later, you find yourself standing before a massive, murmuring crowd. Alright. So here's where my playthrough may have caused us some big problems. Because I may not have been doing very well on my Order of Faith. Let's have a look at where they're sitting. So Order's at 0, and Faith is at 0. Which means this is a flat 50% chance. I really needed to get Faith up to 1. And I was trying, but I didn't do a great job at it. So we have to roll the dice. Do I call them brothers and sisters? Or do I call them officers and crew members? Because it is literally a flat dice roll we're running on here. I think we're going to stick with this divine... Even though we haven't got the full playthrough for it, we're going to go for it. So I'm going to go with brothers and sisters. I'm going to go for option 2. Brothers and sisters. We passed the first check. Your voice rings out over the crowd like a benevolent incantation. Silence falls. The men are listening now. Now I have the choice between this is the end of the world. The sun has been eclipsed by some unknown celestial body, or dust and ash from the nuclear war in the south have reached us and blotted out the sun. So again, let's check. 25% on Faith, I've got 0 Faith. 50% on Garrett, I have 1 in Garrett. 50% on Romani, I have 1 in Romani. I'm just going to tell you now, there's a small part of me that wants to just go for the Faith route, right? But I can't, can I? Because I haven't got any points in Faith. I do have points in Garrett, and I do have points in Romani. I just don't know. There's such a part of me that wants to pick Faith. You have no idea. It's the wrong choice. But I want to believe. I picked Faith. Piotr Ivanovich stares at you. His mouth agape. Everyone freezes in place, waiting for an explanation. Do not wait for the darkness to fade. The sun will never rise again. There are whispers in the crowd. With your right hand stretched to the crowd, the Romani, and all peoples of the Garrett, heed my words, you must be strong. Know that all of this has been preordained. The day of reckoning is at hand. Now is the time. Shakor al-Farak. Check failed. I knew it was going to fail. I knew it. The crew is flabbergasted by your behavior. Some people knit their brows while others smile weakly. Turn around and walk away from the podium. The address is over. This is on Novin Piotr. Are you sure he's in his right mind? Should we say something? He's a lawful heir of the dynasty Sharif. We swore an oath to him. Okay, I know I didn't pick the mechanically best choices here, but I'm starting to believe my own craziness. I like to roleplay a little bit. That was fun. All right, anyway, back to what we were doing. We're fast-forwarding time until we can head to Zoba. There's some other events that are going to happen soon. Oh, we've got a radio signal. Let's just quickly decipher this. It's probably not going to be that exciting, especially because it's going to be encrypted, and we can't decipher it. In fact, let's just auto-intercept it. Yeah. I'm not interested in radio signals right now. I'm just going to grab all this fuel while we're here. This is going to get dangerous soon. I didn't actually need to wait that long now that I think about it. So I'm going to leave behind the... I'm going to leave behind the Shamalhamala with the Rooster. I'm going to take the Great Evil King, the Molotov Stroganoff, the Wiffle Bat, another radio signal. While we're paused. Interesting. That's a high priority signal. Let's just get away from here. So the Great Evil King, the Molotov Stroganoff, the Wiffle Bat, the Black Eye, our Fennec, the Sevastopol, the Big Iron, and our Wasp. And they are going to head... And look, they might as well take all the fuel. They're going to head for Zoba. That leaves behind the Rooster and the Shamalhamala. Once we get a bit closer, we're going to launch some airstrikes at Zoba, and we're just going to try and take it with planes. We need to buy some fuel for this fleet, so we'll just do that now that everyone else is gone. Look at all the fuel we can grab. I'm going to grab enough fuel on them to get to Shivaran, I think. That's all they're going to need. Actually, we'll get enough to get to Adra. Well, we can, because this is a fuel storage location. What else are we going to do while we're sitting here? Also, I just like to quickly point out as well, we're now in permanent night. Like, that's going to be reflected by the game as well as the cutscenes. So it's definitely nuclear winter, right? I mean, that's what's really happened. But it's nice to believe that something else is going on. And maybe we might have just found our way back into the Faith playthrough. I'm not sure. I've never really played it this way before. Let's just see what happens. So once we get a bit closer to Zoba, I'm just going to launch a massive airstrike on Zoba. And we're going to just finish off whatever's left with Sevastopol when we arrive. It's going to be a while before they get there. Also, what is the morale like here? Morale on the Rooster is at 1. So they need to get that morale up. Let's just fast forward a little bit. Oh, got another radio signal. Again, I'm not that interested. We'll just auto-intercept. That's just a transport ship. Okay. We've got a radar pickup on the Eland scanner at 240 from this fleet. Nothing picked up from this fleet. The Shamla Hamla has Eland. This could be bad. So before we do anything, we're going to launch a couple of T7s with ARAMs. Just to fly a cap around us. Their job is to intercept any incoming missiles that are going to hit us. Then we're going to plot this out. So let's get the ruler out. We're looking at 240. We're looking at max range. So honestly, we're looking at Gazem, right? That's where they are. So I'm also going to launch another T7 armed with... What's it going to be armed with? It's going to be armed with... I'm going to arm it with anti-air missiles because I don't want it to engage, but if it runs into something, it can attack it, and I'm just going to fly over there. I'm going to see what we find. I want to keep an eye on this Eland. So these guys' job is literally just to shield the fleet. If any missiles come in, they can take them out. If things are looking scarier, we're going to turn on the FCC. That's just the radio message. I don't really worry about that. I can't click on the fleet from here. Okay, we've still got 1 bar on that. We'll just see what this T7 finds. What's the range on the T7s actually? Can he make it back okay? Let me just check that. Yeah, he can make it. He can loiter for a little while. You just fly down to here. You fly down to here. Stay in range. Right, let's see what he finds when he hits Gazem. Because I think there's an enemy strike fleet or an enemy missile group down here. That's what my gut tells me. Okay, there's something here. Let's just tell him to engage so we can see what it is. It might just be a trade fleet. It's just 1 ship. That's strange. Oh, so you're going to engage him? Oh, you're using your guns. Weird. Is it the Ghost of the Rooster? That can't be what we picked up on radar. What did we pick up on radar? Something is giving out a radar mission, but I don't want to turn my radar on. Yeah, look. Okay, we've got 2 infrared spikes here. Those infrared spikes are our planes. We're currently sitting at 1 here. I think I'm pretty happy just to continue on as is for the moment. How are we doing for morale here? We're about to hit morale 2, which is good. We'll just keep these guys moving forward. There's definitely something in the area, but it's not where I thought it was. It's not here. This is curious. The radar is now picking something up over here. Let's get another... How many T7s do I have left? I have 4 T7s left. I'm going to get another T7 armed with bombs to just fly onto this line here, just to see what it can find. And then I'm going to put you here and you here. How they're doing? They've still got tons of range. Their job is just to screen the fleet. Because I just feel like there's something going on. Just looking at this, the danger puts them somewhere around here. So when I fly down here, I just fly up this line and see if we pick anything up. They're picking something up on Eland now as well, which definitely puts them in this area here. They're probably heading to Ganymesh because that's where I last made a lot of noise. And just see, I can't remember if there is a strike fleet somewhere around here or if we are fine. So let's just see what this fighter finds. Okay, so he's on the path now. Let's just get him to fly up to Ganymesh. Apologies if you hear any noise. My dog just walked into the room. She's not supposed to be here. Alright, let's see if we find anything on this flight path. We'll head all the way to Ganymesh just in case. What's the Eland saying here? They're saying 240. They're no longer picking anything up on Eland, apparently. Which is interesting. Is there anything in Ganymesh? Nothing in Ganymesh. What is the... they're saying 240, which is... Let's just get our compass tool out. Not our compass, our ruler. 240 from them is this line. I don't have another ship with Elant to triangulate here. What I'm going to do is, just in case, I want to send this plane along this line. I don't want to find a fleet flying along here towards where these guys are. I don't think they would, because the Elant would be stronger. But we'll just check and see. Oh, those planes have gone back. That's fine. I'm not sure what this Elant we're picking up is. We'll see if this gets stronger. If this gets stronger or not. We're up to morale 2. We're coming into range now of Zoba. So I want to launch my airstrike. We're going to use LA-29s for this airstrike. We're going to use 100 kilogram bombs, mostly. We'll just use Society Special, why not? We use all the 100 kilogram bombs we've got first. We can't be sneaky here, unfortunately. Like, we're coming in hot. We'll just use up these 100 kilogram bombs and see what we're looking at. We've got plenty of time before the main fleet gets in here. Eland is still 1 at Kala, so we'll just keep an eye on that. They can't move for 26 hours, so they're kind of stuck, but we can get the Shamala Hamala out there if we have to. And let's just see what we've got waiting for us here in Zoba. So there's a fleet in the air, but that's fine because we've got the silent strike alarm up. It's 3 courageous, 2 courageouses, and something. So I don't think we need to worry too much. They're not going to have much in the way of anti-air either. Hopefully these 100 kilogram bombs will take them out. If not, the Sevastopol is gonna deal with it itself. The Sevastopol could just deal with this. In fact, I could just recall the fighters. It's a very, very weak garrison. Let's just bring these guys back. Okay. Oh, I've left one of them going in. That's fine. It can attack. I don't think it's going to do anything that exciting. Oh, he missed. So we're going to take this place with the Sevastopol, and then the rest of the fleet's going to move on. They're probably going to head back north to join up with the Rooster, and I'm going to leave the other Skylark and the Wifflebat here to be refitted. So we're still at Elant 1 over here. 25 hours left on them. Let's just fast forward. What have we got? We've got no radio signals. Elant 1. Yeah, I don't know why the game did that. We've got another radio signal coming in. Again, I'm just going to auto-intercept for now. Yeah, Alistair still wants to meet me. That's fine. Alright, let's just let the Sevastopol deal with it. They're raiding our location in, unfortunately, which means I'm not sure if it's a good idea to leave the Wifflebat here, but the repairs I want to do should be pretty quick. And it'll be interesting to see what happens to this Eland while they're flying. But let's just capture Zoba. I got really confused for a second because I thought the fleet on top was the fleet that was being attacked, and I was really worried that the Sevastopol was one of my enemies. So here you get to see the Sevastopol in combat for the first time in my campaign. This shouldn't take particularly long. It's very heavily armed and armoured. Much easier to deal with things with the 57mm than it is to try and hit them with the main cannons. There we go. I took a little bit of damage there, but I'm not too worried about it. It'll repair slowly over time. Continue. Alright, secure the fuel tanks, dismantle some guns. Let's just grab the fuel. Get some free fuel on the go. And let's just have a look what's going on with our Elant over here. So they're still at Elant 1. Still at riot danger. Yeah, this on odd time here. We've made a target for ourselves in Zoba, which I'm not 100% happy with, but we'll deal with it. Okay, we're still got to do looting. I guess we'll grab this for info, why not? Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to click on that button. I'm just a bit concerned about this Elant we're picking up. Let's just fast forward a little bit. Okay, let's land in Zoba. Let's land the Wifflebat. Where is he? Here he is. There's a 480 repair bay there, which is pretty good. This is pretty risky what I'm doing here. Oh, it's a 602. We're going to try and get in the 602 if we can. I need to remember that the Wifflebat has very bad thrust-to-weight ratio landing, and if I'm not careful, it will come flying in like a pancake. You can see I'm already thrusting up, and he's still losing height, even though, there we go, I finally arrested his downward momentum. Let's get him in here. %602% increased repair speed is going to really help get this off the ground. Cool, nice landing. That will do. Any events? Okay. Bad news, Grand Duke. We've just intercepted a transmission from the Lord Governor. He has ordered every strike group to move to Kiva. If we take too long to reach it, he'll amass his entire fleet of the city very soon. An assault on the city will be quite impossible. So this is kind of like a soft time limit the game has built in, where if you mess around for too long, all the strike fleets withdraw to Kiva. The good news is we've destroyed all the strike groups, so the only thing that's going to be there are like missile carrier groups and stuff, and aircraft carriers, which I'm not too worried about. However, we do have something else we want to say to Pyotr. Surely you've noticed that it's getting colder every day. I have more than noticed, my Duke. I check the thermometers every morning, Pyotr trails off. I mean, every day at 6 o'clock. Either way, if this continues... Pyotr sighs deeply, then shakes his head, at loss for words. I'll be honest, my Duke, I still can't make head nor tails of this. So it's getting colder. It's getting a lot colder. Let's have a look what we've got for fuel here. Let's just top up our fuel tanks. Do I need to end Getty fuel storage and refuel there? I kind of want to just get the fleet back to Kala, to be honest. They've got enough fuel for that, and they can refuel at Kala. But Kala will be dangerous. If I can get them to Shivran, I don't have enough... oh, my game went funny there. I do have enough to get to Shivran. It's quite a lot of money, but let's do that. And then we'll go into the shipworks, and I'm going to start rebuilding the Wifflebat into what I... It's not... I don't have all the parts here... It's funny, I left all the parts behind with the rooster. I don't have all the parts here to build it into the full ship, but I want to get the chassis done. That's quite a time-consuming part of the rebuild. So I'm just going to do that at high speed. You can stay and watch that if you want, and I'll catch you on the other side of that. All right, that is the Wifflebat, mostly remade into the same chassis as the Thunder. Although I've run into some interesting issues that I need to investigate. The biggest issue being the ship is requiring a lot more power than I'd expected that it did in the shipbuilder, and I'm not sure where that's coming from. We may have to redesign it a little bit from here. I've also moved the ammo a bit further out from the center. With the current configuration, I can actually only mount 4 weapons rather than 6. And I still don't think I'll have enough power for that when I do, so we'll have to revisit that. We actually ran out of hull parts in the shop here, so I can't mount the superstructure on the outside or the armor, but that's fine. We'll do that the next place we go to repair. But for now, the ship is ready to go. It's going to take 16 hours to do. So while that is repairing, we're going to refuel the rest of the fleet and fly them to meet up with the rooster and stuff later on. But I think that's enough for this episode. I know it's not been the most exciting episode. We took Zoba, yay. We had some big story events happen, and we've got this Elent one that's now disappeared. Oh, no, it's still here. So we're going to have to deal with that in the next episode. But for now, I'm going to leave it there, and thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers.